Question 863. How much is the state documentary tax on deeds? The answer: the state documentary stamp tax on deeds is assessed at a rate of 70 cents per each $100 of the full purchase price. In Miami-Dade, it's 60 cents for each $100 of the full purchase price. Question 864. How much is the state documentary tax on promissory notes? The answer: the state documentary stamp tax on promissory notes is 35 cents per $100 of the promissory note total. Question 865. What is the state intangible tax on new mortgages? Answer: the state intangible tax on new mortgages is 0.002 cents per dollar of debt, otherwise put as 20 cents per $100, or 0.2%. Question 866. What is situs? The answer: the economic significance of a property's location. Question 867. What is functional obsolescence? Answer: loss of value because a property's function or appearance has gone out of style or has been replaced by a more appealing or effective version. Question 868. What is external obsolescence? Answer: it's loss of property value caused by negative forces outside the property which are beyond the control of the owner. Question 869. What's the difference between replacement cost and reproduction cost? Answer: replacement cost is the actual cost of replacement without regard to depreciation of the property. Reproduction cost is the cost of procuring exact copies of the building's components, preserving the styles and materials used at the subject property's original construction. Question 870. What is potential gross income? The answer: the total rental income a property would receive if the property was 100% leased. Question 871. What is effective gross income? The answer is the estimated total annual income that a property produces. Potential gross income plus other income minus vacancy cost equals the effective gross income. Question 872. What is net operating income? The answer is the net operating income is a property's annual income that remains after paying its operating costs. Question 873. What is going concern value when selling a business? Answer: the value of the business including all of the intangibles. The going concern value assumes the business will continue to be run. Goodwill and branding will probably be a part of the overall valuation of a going concern. Question 874. What date can you start paying off property taxes? When a discount applies? The answer is November 1st. Question 875. What date does the period of getting a discount on property taxes end? The answer: March 1st. Question 876. At what date do property taxes become delinquent? Answer: April 1st. Question 877. If a property owner thinks his property is improperly assessed, what is his first cause of action? The answer is contact the county property appraiser or someone from the appraiser's office and ask for an adjustment. The appraiser may accept the argument, lower the assessed value, and voila, property taxes are lowered. Question 878. If the appraiser's office denies the owner's request to adjust assessment, what is the homeowner's next option? The answer: the owner files an appeal. If the appraiser rejects the property owner's request for adjustment, the owner can then file an appeal with the Value Adjustment Board. Question 879. If the Value Adjustment Board rejects the owner's request, what is the owner's final option? The answer is the owner only has one option left: to go to court. In this case, the property owner needs to pay the property taxes under protest and file a court proceeding. Question 880. What is the maximum you can bid on a tax certificate? The answer is the sale of a tax certificate is really an auction. Investors at an certificate auction, bid by lowest interest rate. The maximum interest rate bid is 18%. Question 881. How long does a property owner have to pay back the taxes plus interest from the date the tax certificate was issued? The answer: 2 years. Question 882. How long does a tax certificate owner have to apply for a tax deed? The answer: 7 years. After that, the certificate becomes null and void. Question 883. What is the Florida Greenbelt Law? Answer. This law passed in 1959 was established with the goal of protecting farmers from unreasonable tax increases. Question 884. If your home has an assessed value between 0 and $50,000, how much is your homestead exemption? Answer is, you get a $25,000 base exemption from city, county, and school board taxes. Okay, question 885. If your home has an assessed value between $50,000 and $75,000, how much is your homestead exemption? Answer, you will get the $25,000 base exemption plus a dollar for dollar additional exemption on city and county taxes only. So if your home assessed for $55,000, you would get an additional exemption of $5,000, since $55,000 is $5,000 more than $50,000. 886. If your home has an assessed value above $75,000, how much is your homestead exemption? The answer, you get the base $25,000 exemption plus an additional $25,000 exemption on city and county taxes only. Question 887. How much added exemption does a widow, blind person, a 10% more disabled veteran, or totally disabled person get? The answer is $5,000. Question 88. How much exemption does a quadriplegic, totally disabled first responder, a totally disabled service-connected veteran, or spouse of a veteran killed in service get? The answer is 100% exempt. Question 889. What are tax-immune properties? The answer is city, county, state, and federal government properties do not get assessed and the property does not have to pay taxes. Question 890. What are tax-exempt properties? And the answer is properties that belong to churches and nonprofits. Question 891. How much can a first-time buyer deduct from their IRA for a down payment on a home purchase? And the answer is $10,000. Question 892. How much can a homeowner deduct on their state, city, and property taxes? The answer is up to $10,000. Question 893. Under the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997, it created certain exclusions from capital gains taxes for homeowners. How much can you exclude from a capital gain on a house? The answer, under the capital gains exemption, single homeowners may exclude up to the first $250,000 on a sale of a residence. Married homeowners may exclude up to the first $500,000. Taxpayers must meet the ownership and use requirements to be eligible for the capital gains exemption. Question 894. The mortgage interest deduction allows homeowners to deduct the interest on a mortgage loan. Currently, what are the eligible amounts? The answer is $750,000 for people filing jointly and $375,000 for people filing separately. Question 895. What is the depreciation recovery period for residential investment properties and commercial investment properties? Answer, the recovery period for a residential income property is 27.5 years. The recovery period for a commercial investment property is 39 years. Question 896. How much is the depreciation recapture tax? Answer, when investment property is sold, depreciation recapture tax comes due. Depreciation recapture is taxed at 25% of the total allowable depreciation of deductions. Question 897. What does the local planning board do? The answer is the planning board is not the final authority on all planning matters. They act as an advisory board to elected government officials. However, there are a few select areas where the planning board gets to call the shots. They have the authority to approve subdivision plans, approve site plans, and control signs. Question 898. What are the two parts to creating zoning ordinances? Answer, making a zoning map. This involves carving up the whole town into pieces and assigning each piece a zone. Number 2, outlining the permitted uses. Rules are created for what is allowed and not allowed in each zone. Question 899. Who has the authority to make the majority of growth and planning decisions in a local area? Answer, the state of Florida gives local governments the authority to make the majority of growth and planning decisions. Question 900. What is an area variance in land zoning and planning? Answer: it pertains to the physical characteristics of the land. Example: if a homeowner requires a smaller setback for an oddly shaped lot, it is the zoning board's decision whether to allow it or not. Question 901. What is a use variance? The answer: it would be for a use outside a designated zoning regulation. Example: to put a gas station in a residential area. Question 902. What is a special exemption? The answer: for example, a church in a residential area. Question 903. What is special in regards to insurance for a home in an A or V zone? The answer: if a home is either in A zone or V zone, and its purchase will be financed with a mortgage from a federally insured or regulated lender, flood insurance is required. Question 904. What is the NFIP? The answer: it's the National Flood Insurance Program, and it is what it sounds like, a government program that supplies flood insurance. Although the NFIP is a national program, not all U.S. property is eligible for NFIP coverage. It is restricted to certain participating communities. These communities have to adapt and enforce ordinances that either meet or exceed FEMA's requirements for reducing flood costs.